So your hormones are unbalanced and making you miserable. Now what? I used to have unbalanced hormones that gave me horrible periods right when I was a teenager. So the symptoms that I was experiencing when I was a teenager with my period were severe pain, very bad cramps, to the point where I would lay in the fetal position. I would mix Tylenol and Advil together. I was horrible pain. It was awful. I also got hormonal migraines where I would lay in a room in the pitch black for days because I couldn't get rid of them. I wasn't offered a lot of help. So a lot of women come to me with a very similar story. They've been told that these symptoms are normal and that you just take some Tylenol, you go about your day. That isn't true though. So our bodies should not be giving us this much pain. Our periods should certainly not be giving us this much grief. These types of symptoms are telling us that our hormones are unbalanced. So today I want to talk to you about how you can balance your hormones naturally. This is the exact advice that I used on myself and that I use when I'm working with my patients. So I have taken everything that I've learned in naturopathic medical school, functional endocrinology, nutrition, and specifically female hormones in the last 6 years of practice. I've wrapped it all up, put a bow on it, and I want to give it to you so that you can also balance your hormones. Hi, I'm Dr. Annie Savage. I'm a naturopathic doctor and I work with women on their hormones. I like to help women naturally balance their hormones so that they can experience symptom-free periods, a chaos-free perimenopause, and just fly through menopause with no issues whatsoever. Like this video and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell for notifications so that you can get notified every time we have a new video out. First, we want to utilize your sleep. So when we sleep at night, our body is resting, repairing, and regenerating. We are also mammals though, so we have hormones being released throughout the night based on our circadian rhythm. This means that we actually have to live within the circadian rhythm. We have to live within how the sun and the moon rise and fall every day. So what we need to do is go to bed at the same time every night and get up at the same time the next morning. Ideally, your bedtime would be around 10 o'clock, getting up around 6 to 7 a.m. Going to bed at the same time every night, getting up at the same time in the morning gives our body the rest, regeneration, and repair that it needs, and it allows us to work within that circadian rhythm. So make it your goal to get to bed by 10 p.m. and get up around 6 to 7 a.m. Secondly, we want to avoid the foods that we're sensitive to or that cause us problems or give us symptoms. For most people, these foods would include wheat and gluten, dairy and eggs, and sometimes soy. So I know you've probably heard that list before and you don't want to take them out. The good news is you shouldn't have to take these foods out of your diet forever. We do want to avoid them while you're getting symptoms from them so we can lower inflammation and heal up your gut. That way we can bring those foods back in moderation, but without all of the symptoms. So first things first, remove the foods that you notice that you're sensitive to. Next, you need to drink more water. Often people are not drinking enough water. We need to be drinking half of our body weight in ounces of water every single day. For most women, this ends up being around 2 liters, and then we want to increase that amount when we are exercising. If we live in a really hot tropical climate, if we sweat a lot, we are losing more than just water when we're sweating. So we really need to replace that. And if you live in a really hot climate or you sweat a ton, you should also be adding electrolytes to your water to replace those. Fourth, we need to eat our fiber first. So eating our fiber first, which would be our vegetables primarily, will actually create a mesh or kind of like a sieve so that the rest of the food that we're eating is behind that fiber and it is slowed down. This slows the process of gastric emptying and therefore also slows and blunts our blood sugar curve. This will make our appetite more sustainable as well as our energy more sustainable. So we'll feel more satisfied and satiated from our meals when we eat in this way. So eat your fiber first. Have you noticed a big change in your hormones or your period in the last few years? Tell me about it in the comments below. A lot of women have been experiencing changes in their cycle from the stress of COVID, from actually having COVID, or from the vaccine. Number 5, walk 10,000 steps every day. Walking is such a great way to get our activity levels up and our exercise in. Often women are exercising too much and eating too little. So we actually want to pare that exercise back, specifically the intensity of that exercise. What isn't talked about often is that exercise is a stressor on our body. Although it is usually a very good stressor, an acute stress that gives us endorphins, adrenaline, makes us feel really good and energized. If our hormones are out of balance already, intense exercise can worsen this. It will actually push your hormones further out of balance, and sadly, that can actually lead to weight gain. So if you're not exercising at all, let's get you walking. And if you think you might be exercising too much, let's pare it back and get you walking. Walking is a nice low stress exercise, and you can use it as your mental health as well. Listen to a book, a podcast, music, take a friend with you, talk to somebody on the phone. Anything that gives you that positive, happy, in the flow feeling is what we want you to do. Number 6, that takes us nicely into managing our stress. Stress has such a huge effect on our entire lives, but specifically our hormones, and especially for us women. So managing stress becomes very, very important. We can't completely get rid of stress because it's a part of life. It is huge parts in our day often. So how do we manage it? How do we deal with the acute stressors and the long-term stress? We really need to develop practices that allow us to manage the way stress feels in our body and how we react to it. So simple things you can do, like getting your 10,000 steps, like I just said, walking is a great option. You can also journal, so you can write out all of the things going on in your head, your feelings. That's a very safe way to pour them out of your body without affecting other people negatively. Take up a meditation or mindfulness practice. You can do yoga, Pilates, stretching, and talking to a therapist or counselor would be fantastic. If you have a calm, cool, and collected friend, they are also a good option. And lastly, we can also eat for our hormonal balance. So you can actually eat specific foods at specific times of the month to help promote the correct hormones in balance. What I personally do is have a green smoothie every single day for lunch. And within that smoothie, I put different things that will help me manage my hormones. So in the beginning half of my cycle, in the follicular phase, from my period up to ovulation, which is typically around day 14 for me, I will have flax seeds and pumpkin seeds. These have a lot of zinc in them that help to promote estrogen levels. After ovulation, in the second half of my cycle, I like to use sunflower seeds and sesame seeds, which help to promote progesterone in my body. I also focus my diet on whole foods. So at home, I eat plant-based, whole foods, and then when I go out with my friends, which is about 20% of the time, I have really whatever I want. So 80% of the time, I'm eating a very healthy, whole foods-based diet, and then the other part of the time, I am doing what I feel like, and I find that this really works for me. I've linked a free guide below so that you can learn about the 4 common ways that your hormones are becoming unbalanced, as well as 4 ways that you can begin to balance your hormones naturally. So check out the guide below and let me know in the comments how it helped you.